Hello, divas, diamonds, and dolls. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Femininity with Momma Gail. Today, let's talk about how to know if you are in your masculine energy. How to know when you are in your masculine energy. We flow in feminine energy and feminine radiance and the beauty. We're well dressed, we smell good, we look good, we're gliding, we're walking, and just flowing in our feminine presence. But sometimes we find ourselves caught up in masculine energy and not even knowing it. We switch right on and off and not think about what energy am I in right now. I often have to ask myself this question and reflect. Am I taking care of me? Self-care. This is the first point I want to talk about. Knowing when we are in our masculine energy. When you are taking care of everybody else, your man, your house, your car, your kids, your job, things of that nature, and you're taking care of everybody else, but you have not taken the time for Calgon to take you away. You have not taken the time to go into a secret closet, a secret place in woosah. You have not had any time to burn some candles and to soak in the smell, the aroma, to quiet yourself and listen to your body, to yourself, to clear your head and clear your mind. More than likely you are in your masculine energy because you're so busy taking care of everybody else. You're running, doing, taking care of everybody else, and you haven't had time to self-care. And don't get me wrong, I know as women, these are things that are mandatory. These are things that we do on a daily basis. But while you're taking care of the kids, taking care of the husband, taking care of the bills, taking care of the house, and making sure everybody's fed and doing what you do on your job, making sure everything is in place, you take the time to unwind and take care of you. If you are not taking care of you and taking some me time, you are in a constant flow of your masculine energy. And it's unnoticed because you're so busy. Your intuition is off. You're getting to a place where you feel burnt out. And being burnt out, that's my second point. You're so busy that you're burnt out. You're tired. You're frustrated. You're aggravated. You don't want to be bothered. You don't know what's next. That's a sign of masculine energy. It's a sign that you're in your masculine energy. No feminine woman and flowing in her feminine energy should ever feel burnt out. Burnt out comes when you're trying to control everything. You're trying to do everything. You're taking care of everything. You have to take that me time, even if it's 15 minutes. When everything else is quiet, when the kids are in bed, when the husband is asleep, after you've fed everybody, take some me time. Go in the bathroom, run you a nice hot lavender bath or something, and relax and take some me time. Instead of taking a lunch break when you're at work, if none of that works, instead of taking a lunch break, take you a meditation time, some me time. Eat your lunch and go back to work and do what it is that you do. But if you are burnt out, you know how you stick a plug in a wall and sometimes the electric shock, it'll burn the socket out. That socket is no more good for anything. It's not of use until it gets rewired. That's the same way it is with us. When you get burnt out in your masculine energy, you are not of value in the sense of being able to speak with a clear mind, to flow in your feminine energy, to be soft and sweet, because you're overwhelmed and caught up in being burnt out and taking care of everybody else. The next thing, the third thing, way that you know, men call you bossy. Not only men, people. And I'm not talking about at your job, because that's where you should be bossy if you're in a position to be boss. They call you bossy. He calls you controlling. You're in your masculine energy when you're bossy and controlling. Women are not bossy. Feminine women are not bossy and controlling. We don't try to control masculine men. We don't try to dominate a situation. We don't try to take over and take control of things without allowing the man to flow in his masculine energy. So if you're bossy, you want to tell everybody what to do. You want to come home and tell your husband, your mate, your boyfriend, your potential. And some of us as young ladies, when we're dating, we want to try to steer things in our favor. So we try to boss the gentleman around and try to control him and tell him what to do and manipulate him by saying, oh, if you care about my feelings, you would do such and such. He's going to get tired of that after a while. And that your bossiness is going to come out in the open. And then he's going to shut you down and your feelings are going to be hurt. You have to flow in your feminine energy and get what you want from him. His attention, his time, conversation, and things of that nature by flowing in your feminine energy. What you start with is going to proceed into your relationship. So if you're bossy, if you're controlling, you're a hot mess. But you're going to have to stare that down and flow. Learn how to glide and flow in your feminine energy. How do you do that? Check yourself. When you're being called bossy, when you see yourself being bossy, take it down. Rear back. Lay back and receive. Accept and absorb in the feminine. And as you continue to do that, you'll see that you are learning to control not being bossy. And after a while, you'll stop doing it because you'll flow more in your feminine energy. The next thing, you are not feeling. If you are in a place where you are not feeling, like you're numb to certain things, you're just not and I'm not saying crying and being over dramatic and things of that nature. I'm not talking about that. I mean feeling. You become numb, cold, in a sense. And not to say that masculine men are numb and cold, but they don't flow in the energy that we do. And we should be feeling and absorbing and understanding. If you are cold and you are not feeling, you are in your masculine energy. And you can also tell because your intuition is off when you're cold. When you are not flowing and your intuition is not radiant, alive, vibrant, then you are in your masculine energy. And it's bringing about insecurity and a lack of confidence for you. And your intuition is off and you look at things and people and you're suspicious instead of flowing in intuition and knowing what this is. Because when a feminine woman is flowing in feminine energy and her feminine radiance, her intuition is on point. Her intuition is keen. It's like a sixth sense. So if you're suspicious and insecure and you're lacking confidence, more than likely you are flowing in more of your masculine energy. And it's very unattractive for a feminine woman to be insecure, to lack confidence, and to flow in the spirit of suspicion. The next thing, you are, what is that? Constantly on the move and don't take time to rest. Listen, okay, we already discovered that. We already talked about your intuition. You're not feeling. You allowing, the last one. You have something to prove. If you always have something to prove to somebody somewhere, you're in competition. You are competing. And the feminine woman doesn't have a competing spirit when it comes to having to prove herself to anyone. Because the feminine woman is confident and does not have to prove anything to anyone. Men have that competitive. I gotta prove my point. I have to prove to this guy. I have to one up him. If you are one upping your sisters, people around you, things of that nature, you are in your masculine energy. At my job, I haven't been to work in a while because of the whole corona situation, but at my job, there's this professor who works there, and she's a very well dressed professor, but she's always in her masculine energy. And whenever she comes around me, for some reason, flowing in her masculine energy because she's a professor with a PhD in education, which I'm not intimidated or threatened by, and there's nothing wrong with that. But don't try to come at me in the sense of trying to compete with feminine energy, because there is no competition. But I don't waste my time trying to compete with anyone. I just simply do what I do. I just simply be who I am. I flow in my being, and the favor that is upon me because of who I am. This is where she comes and sticks her chest out in a sense of, I'm a professor. I teach here, things of that nature. And because I'm not a professor, you look at the feminine woman and you want to compete with me in my profession and what it is that I do. But you are the professor. But I say all of that to say, never waste your time trying to prove anything to anyone. Just simply be who you are. If you find yourself in the masculine role, doing something in masculine energy, not taking care of yourself, not putting you first, finding girl time for just you or you and your girls, things of that nature. If you're burnt out, you need to plug into a new source. And that new source is your feminine energy, to refresh it, revive it, spend time with you, meditating, listening to you, sitting in a nice hot bath, talking to yourself, reminding yourself of who you are. Never let your masculine energy dominate and overtake your feminine flow. You should always be flowing. This is Femininity with Momma Gail. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel. Have a blessed and prosperous day, divas, diamonds, and dolls.